All right, hey, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back. As you can probably tell by the thumbnail and the title of this video, today was not a very good day for me. I am not very happy right now. Um, it was just I took a bunch of trades today, and they were all losers. And, like at least the other days where I win some and lose some, so it's kind of an even deal, even if it is a negative balance for the day. At least I had some winners to kind of minimize losses. But today wasn't like that. Today was one of the worst days you can have. Is where you take a shot and then you miss, and then you take another shot and then you miss, and then that's so I lost two in a row. And my third shot I had the right way, but I missed it a different way essentially. Um, and I and then the fourth one was just it was just another loss. It was just four trades today, all losers. Ended up being around losing $265 total. Before I get started, and explaining exactly how those worked out and what I learned from it and all that kind of stuff, um, I I want to point out that the the trades I took weren't any different than what I was taking yesterday, but the uh, the mental aspect of it completely changed the game today, and it was a very different kind of feeling, and my mental game was completely different going into these trades, especially after that first loss. So this is part of the game. This is I'm glad. Like, obviously, in retrospect, I did have. I'm still profitable for like the week, and the week is pretty much over because tomorrow is the 4th of July holiday. As far as the stock market is concerned, the 4th of July is obviously Saturday, and they observe it and shorten the week. And whenever that happens, they observe it on Friday or Monday, depending on which weekend day 4th of July falls on. So tomorrow it doesn't really count as a day. So today essentially the week is over for me, and uh, my week breaks down something like $400 in profit, $500 in profit, and then like a break even day, and then negative $265, like minus $265, whatever. So overall, I still made a few $100 this week, which is great. My average is still hovering around that $100 a day mark, and I want to keep that up. But that's not really what's important. What's important is the process and the system, and being able to being able to be disciplined on a regular basis. And today I was disciplined somewhat, but I still lost anyway. And then that definitely shifted the way that I executed, which made it worse going on. So let's get into the trades and how I lost. And it's not that different from how I won yesterday. And then let's get into. I'll get into some more of the things that I actually learned and what I'm going to do differently. You might notice that my screen looks slightly different. If you're looking closely, my screen does look slightly different because I added a bunch of stuff and that I picked up. All right. Hopefully, it doesn't overcomplicate what I do. But anyway, so right away in the morning, I found out that that the market had rallied. Like, this is the S&P right here. The market had rallied into the 3150. It had hit that price right around the open. Right, yeah, right on the open, and hit it. And so it was very bullish when I woke up, and I was thinking, well, I mean, I was up, I was awake at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, but I wasn't looking, and I right away started to regret it, because if you've been following me for any amount of time now, you know that I like small quarters. You know, I like to take a trade off the 31.25 to take it up to the 31.50, and I didn't catch it. I wasn't looking. I don't know why, really. I don't want to get into too much of the weeds of why that was, but it was definite. I didn't catch it, so right away I'm like, damn, I missed. So immediately I start off the day with a little bit of FOMO. Not a good mental state. I don't think anybody's really immune to it. It's just, if there is, I'd love to, if there is someone that's immune to it out there, I'd love to know what their secret is. Or if they're just born that way. They must not be human. So for me, like, I'm starting off the day with a little bit of FOMO, not a good place to be, but I'm telling myself, all right, well, let me wait until 9 o'clock. Let me see what happens at 9 o'clock when the energy markets open up. So my routine is I take the opening breakout trades on the energy markets at 9. If they're good quality, if I have at least one or two reasons to get into the trade, right? In addition to the fact that it's just the opening. So I need confluence is really what I'm trying to say. I need confluence. I need multiple reasons, 2 or more reasons to get into the trade. 2 or more supporting pieces of evidence that's not subjective, objective evidence to get into the trade. And I stayed away from it. So I did save myself. I will give myself a little bit of credit for saving myself on on some of the entries here. So let's go back and look. That's my alerting for my Forex account, which is not nearly as active. In case you were wondering what that noise was. So here is the opening candle, opening 5-minute candle, the 9 o'clock candle, right here. This baby. So it's a 16-point move, which is another $160 risk, which I can. It's better than the $200 risk that I took yesterday, but it's still a lot for me. It's still a lot to take this kind of a trade. So what I did was I went to the 1-minute time frame and I found the first 5 1-minute candles. And I took the one that was gonna give me what's going on here? I took the one that was going to give me the low and the high, and so it's this candle. I'll put some vertical lines here as well. It's from this candle all the way to this candle. This range, right? And so I took the top 2 candles, so this one and this one, and I looked for it to go long, and then I also looked for the bottom ones to go short. Now this one down here, this one candle down here to go short, and it did break below it like for a second, and then it came back in. And I actually, I know what it is. I took 2 contracts because I told myself I would take multiple contracts with this reduced risk. This is only like an $80 or $80-something risk, and I took that twice. So it's really, I'm still risking $160, but the idea was I will take profit on a 1-to-1, so I'll lock in $80, and then the other trade where I'm risking another 80 is a free trade. That's the idea behind multiple contracts, only it completely backfired today because I lost both. So instead of just risking 80 and then getting into a free trade, I lost 80 twice. I lost 160 there. So that's what the so you see me getting so you see two red arrows here, which that's when I was putting in the entries. I took one short here, and then I took another short here, and then I got stopped out almost immediately. It sucks. At least if you like, I don't know what's worse, getting stopped out in like a minute, or if it gives you a chance and it like moves back and forth and then it comes in, hits your stop. They both suck, but I don't know which sucks more. I want to say like it hurts more to get stopped immediately, because it's more surprising. So it's like I didn't even get a chance to get ready to be prepared for a stop out, and instead I just got stopped out immediately like that. Like it was crazy. And you can tell, like, this is every candle is a minute. In the next minute, I got stopped out. It was like a slap in the face, and it sucked totally. And you can tell I'm not very happy about it. Not only that, on the opening, not only that, I also lost on the opening, or not the. I keep saying opening, on the news breakout. On Thursdays, there's natural gas inventory reports that come out. That's at 10:30. That's why this candle is so huge. This candle, like, really messed me up. You can see that I have an arrow here and an arrow here. You would think that that's because I bought here and then I took profit in the first minute, right? That's what I was supposed to do, but I did the opposite because I screwed up the order entry completely. And I'm not going to get into the details of it right now because I kind of forced myself to forget about it because I didn't want to deal with it because it was execution error. It's not that I didn't know what to do, and it's not even that I didn't know how to do it. It's that it's like. Let me bring back the 15 minutes here. Let me just explain what. Just get rid of this first. Now we're dealing with this. Where's the 10:30 candle? Okay, so we're dealing. So this giant move up, this jump up. So this is what we wanted to capture, and the way to do that is to treat the previous 15 minutes as the same way I would treat the opening range breakout. And so you see here, I'm looking to take it as soon as it breaks above this. I want to take it high, and if I were to place a little risk reward ratio thing here, I would be scared of this high, and so I would probably only look for a 2-to-1 at the most. Whatever I can get that's not gonna be. I want to get out before this high because I don't want to. It ended up going above, but pretend you don't know that, right? That's not how you trade. So you don't trade in hindsight, you trade with uncertainty. So I would have gone for a 2-to-1, which would have been exactly here, right? I probably would have put in an entry for a 2-to-1, being very scared and respecting this high right here. I'm confident I can break this one. I would actually be scared of this too, honestly, but with the strength of the moves, like an average move off of a news is 35 ticks, and so it almost did exactly 35 ticks. It almost did exactly what the average was. So I know that there's typically the move out of a breakout should be strong enough to clear this, but it was iffy about if I could clear this high or not. Maybe, I don't know, right? So I would have probably put I would have just kept it even, nice. I like nice, easy round numbers. It's less stressful, and I would have taken a 2-to-1. You know, if I have room, I might have done a 3-to-1. Going forward, if I have multiple contracts, I would do one to one, and then that would give me confidence to go for even a 3-to-1. If I held it, would I have squeezed out a 3-to-1? No, not even to the end of the day. I wouldn't have gotten 3-to-1. I would have just bounced around a lot, but I've never actually had the 3-to-1. I would have had to settle or still be holding it right now. I don't know. Usually, I don't like to hold a news breakout trade for the entirety of the day. Maybe on an opening, maybe on an index. I don't know. Usually, I like to get out of it and lock in profits for futures anyway. I'm totally okay holding trades with currencies for a longer period of time because of the nature of how they do it, how they move, and the different time frames that I use. But that's a topic for a different video. I don't really do that much of it. If I take a currency trade, I'll explain on that day. Today is more about how I lost and how I deal with losing. And I haven't had many losing days where I lose hundreds of dollars since I started vlogging here. So I guess this is the first real one. Execution error here, and it's like it's kind of like when you know how to do something, and like let's say you're playing basketball and you know how to shoot a basketball, but you missed your first 3 shots, and so now your 4th shot you're shooting with a little less confidence, and you know that's why you missed. Like you can feel like when you shoot it, oh, I shot that with, I kind of hesitated a little bit. My motion wasn't as smooth, so I know that like, oh man, if I was just smooth, I did everything else right. That shot would have been good. You know, that's kind of the way that I felt here, because the moment the clock turned to 10:30, this thing moved up. I wish I could show you like charts in seconds, like 5-second charts, or in 2 seconds, because it jumped up all the way up here in 1 second. And like I was still in the middle of like moving around my entry points and whatnot. I was trying to like fine tune the entries, the stop limit, whatever, and I missed. I was too slow. Like I ran out the clock. It was like it was like a silly error that, you know, when like a couple of years ago in the NBA Finals, one of the players clearly forgot what. It was a tie game, but he forgot what the score was, and he forgot what what the clock said, how much time was left, and he was like, "I thought we were up by 1 point. That's why I was just dribbling it out." And they ended up losing. The Cavaliers ended up losing that game, right? And I was like, I can't believe that happened, because I was a LeBron fan. I wanted them to win, and that was devastating to me. It's like, you're so close. You had it. You just screwed it all up because of like human error, like execution error. That's what this was. And it just like, I don't know, like, is it worse to get stopped out on something like that, or is it worse to get stopped out on a is it worse to get stopped out on something that actually where you had it in right and you were just wrong? Which is worse? I have no idea. Market's open now and it's moving because it's 6 o'clock on the dot. And so those are my losing trades for today. I didn't have a single winner today. I was like mentally like distraught, like, oh my god, I can't believe this. And so like this is part of, I think, the growing pains of dealing with the more expensive nature of the energy markets. I didn't even think to look at like at this point, like at 9:30, I'm looking at the S&P indexes and stuff, but like even with the S&P and the Nasdaq and everything like that, I'm looking, but we're so close to the previous pivot highs that I'm scared to take along. Like, I mean, I could have taken it from 100 to I could have taken 2 quarters, right, from 100 to 150, and I would have completed them. But I was like, my mind wasn't in it, and I had lost some confidence there. So what did I learn from this? What I'm gonna do, what I learned a couple of neat tricks that I'm not gonna get into today. I'm gonna get into next time when I actually put it into use. But just if you want to take a look at some of these lines that come into play, right? There's I just give you a sneak peek to change the scale into percentage, and I'll have to do it on this. And so, like, this is a different kind of set of data for me to look at, and it looks like a mess right now because I'm not really fine tuning it, but I'm excited to share with everybody how it's going to go in the future. Okay. Regular. Nope. Yes. Okay. So you'll also notice that I added a bunch of continuous charts on the bottom here, and I broke up I broke up these vertical lines into where the session breaks, so that I don't have to like look for, like, this is always going to be the 6 o'clock candle, right, where the start of like the Globex hours, and so it's just, and there's the chart gets more cluttered, but it does actually give me less work to do, and so like I'm gonna add that in. It looks very colorful and there's lines going all over the place, but I know visually in my brain I can filter those things out. So it's probably cleaner if I remove this as well, because I don't always use the EMA. Another thing that kind of pissed me off was the fact that this divergence indicator tool doesn't indicate all divergence, because this right here is divergence, right? The RSI is 78 here, and it's 77 here, so it went lower, but the price definitely went higher. That is divergence. Why isn't it drawing divergence? I don't know. I just found a lot of things that pissed me off today, you know? And I think that happens, and like, I was so tempted to get into another trade and try to make my money back, but I didn't. Instead, what I did was I made the thumbnail that you guys that you can check out, and I took a picture of that and edited the there's a filter to have. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but this reminded me of Star Wars. Like, oh, like I feel like I'm getting sucked into the dark side of the Force or something like that. Right, that's what it feels like. I just feel this rage of like revenge trading and wanting to, like, you know, why, like wanting to blame the indicator, even though I wasn't even looking at divergence for the breakout trades. The divergence has nothing to do with breakout trades. But I was like, why doesn't this divergence trader indicator show it? Like, this is definitely it must be broken. And I'm looking at like the code. You know, and I'm like all of a sudden Googling how to fix the code, and went down the spiral of the negativity, and like just that's what happens. Instead of taking another trade, however, I made lemonade out of lemons, so to speak, and I went into a mode like, okay, like how can I don't want to suppress the negative energy, but I do want to release it. It's different, you know, suppressing. And I do a lot of videos before I started the vlog. I did a lot of videos on like the emotions of money and the emotions of investing. You know, as an NLP coach myself, I have a lot of experience in that area as well. So to me, I don't want to suppress my anger and my negative emotions here, but I do want to release them. So the way I did that was I made like I had fun with it. You know, you gotta learn to have fun with your negative emotions sometimes. and I did that by making the little thumbnail and making like a Star Wars themed thumbnail. Even though I'm not really a big fan of Star Wars. I've seen the movies, but I don't really like them. But I understand the lore of Star Wars, and like the dark side feels very appropriate to what I was feeling today. You know, revenge and like, you know, hate. And hate leads to anger. Anger leads to dark. It's like, you know, Yoda said something like that. One of you Star Wars fans can correct me on the quotes there, but so today lost $265, but really technically still profitable for the week. So I really just kind of have to take my wins where I can and just, you know, look for the silver lining. There's a couple of new charting tools that I added. That's good stuff. But also really the concept of today was a really good reminder of the concept of my mental account, my mental capital. It's not just what's more important than the money that I have in my account is also the mental capital I have, because if I'm scared or not feeling confident, I won't take. Ooh, excuse me. See, part of the dark side is that you sneeze while you do your lives as well. That's a symptom of the dark side. What was I saying? My mental capital. So, like, if I'm scared and confident, and like I'm lacking confidence, I won't take trades that I normally know how to take. That execution error was because I was dilly-dallying around, feeling a little hesitant, and it came back to bite me in the ass. I knew how to do that, and I knew that I wanted to take both sides long. I knew what to do. It was like literally seconds, right? That's why, like, the sports metaphor really is appropriate too, I think. Like, 1 second is a long time in certain situations in sports and in trading. And other times you got to be patient, and in other times 1 second matters. It's like a very different kind of. You got to know what the situation you're in, right? And to me, today was a really good reminder of that. And so right now, like the energy markets this week was something that I was taking on as a new level up, and I wasn't really able to handle it all that well. I think I had a couple of winners and a couple of losers, but ultimately my bread and butter is where I made the most money. And even that, I was so distracted by the energy markets today and my loss there that I forgot to even take the S&P trades, my bread and butter trades. And there was room for 50 points since this morning, and that would be even for one contract. That would have been 50 points would be $250. So if I had just taken that first, it would have been a break even. I wouldn't feel the way that I feel today. But I mean, coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? So the week is pretty much over for me. Still a profitable week. Averaged $100 a day this week as well, despite the short week. So there's definitely there's more than $400 worth of profit for the week there, and that's my goal. That's my target for the week, because I'm still very much a beginner. I'm still learning. I've only been doing this a few months, I don't think there's many like new traders out there or like that are still learning. I think most people want to be good before they vlog. Or before they go live about it. But, for me, this is more my way of journaling, blogging, whatever, however you want to think about it. I'm looking at this as a way that I can log my trading activity and on a daily basis, and still give some people value. I'm sure there's other people out there that can relate to feeling the feeling of revenge trading. So my heart goes out to whoever is out there that is into revenge trading. And yeah, that's it. You know, it sucks, and not really much else to say there. That about does it for this video. Happy holidays for. Do you say happy holidays for 4th of July? No, it's happy 4th of July for this weekend. For anyone that's celebrating the long weekend or people who are still quarantined, hope everybody enjoys a nice long weekend. Hope the weather holds up wherever you are, and that you're able to spend some time with family in a safe way, right? We're seeing sudden spikes in coronavirus cases, and like this might be a way that we inadvertently spread it around even more when we get together with family, or get together to celebrate the 4th of July, watch fireworks and stuff. It might actually end up making it worse, even though we don't mean it to. So stay safe out there, everybody, and stay tuned for the next video from YouTube. I'll see you guys on Monday.